ladies. Happy Friday. Maya and I are coming on here today to talk about, when we're feeling unproductive and what we need to do. So, as when we're busy and we have so much on our minds, it's easy to, lose that inspiration, and it's easy to just let everything go and do nothing, and then it actually makes you feel even worse. So we have some tools that we use in our life that, here's Maya. Bring it on. Hi.
Hi.
Happy Friday.
Made it.
So, like I was saying, it's very easy to, when you're so busy, to get stuck and not do anything because it's just overwhelming. So there are just simple 3 things that we wanted to share with you. And first thing that I like to do when I'm super busy is, we're usually busy over here and like nothing is happening on the outside. So what you have to do is actually just download your thoughts onto paper. So we call it the brain dump. And, we've done this to each other and we kind of forget sometimes. And I'm like, shoot, I don't know what to do next. So Maya will go, just do a brain dump. And so we have a notebook and we write brain dump, and we just write everything that's on our mind. And just that process alone allows you to just like relieve that tension in your head. And when you put things down onto paper, it's like you're actually putting it into some sort of physical form, and you get to look at it in a different light, because
Right.
Easy to just these like swirling thoughts, it like sometimes they don't make sense, and like, do I need to do this, do I not? And so actually just writing them down creates this process of like, oh, that's not really like, if you compare some things to each other, like some things just don't need to get done like that month,
Right.
maybe.
Or something might only take like less than 5 minutes.
Right.
And it's actually but because I know that writing it down in a brain dump will help me get clarity on, okay, like this is what needs to be done. And then it helps me, prioritize the order and that sort of thing.
Right.
But it also helps because a lot of times when you're a busy mom and you have like people talking to you like from the moment you wake up to the moment that you go to bed, and like so a lot of times it's like, oh yeah, I need to do this, and then I'm like repeating it in my head a lot because I don't want to forget.
Mm-hmm.
And so then because I've repeated it so many times in my head, it makes it feel like it's 1 million things. And so then you dump it and you're like, oh, all right, well, I guess things aren't that bad, or like this thing can get done next week, or this thing I can ask somebody else to do, and that sort of thing. So it can kind of release that overwhelm, and also give you clarity on exactly what is going on.
Right. And so this process could be, different to everyone. Like you can actually, like, if you do get unproductive like a lot, actually just like devote a book to it and just, create a page every time and just like see how that process works for you. Or you can use a sticky note, or you can use your phone if you're like, whatever. But then the next step in that is to prioritize and just choose the top 3, so just what are the top 3 things that need to get done? And doesn't mean, you're not going to do the other ones, but like these are the ones that will give you, such relief that just knowing by when you do these things, you'll just feel better.
Right.
So the next step is to commit to at least, so once you have the top 3, so commit at least 5 minutes, because 5 minutes is better than no minutes, right? So if you just commit to 5 minutes, usually if you're like in a task, and you could use the Pomodoro technique where you like set a timer for 5 minutes so you're doing it. Most likely you're going to do it for like more than 5 minutes because you're going to want it to get done. So just commit to 5 minutes, and hopefully you could finish, and then, and then take a longer break, and then do the next thing on the task.
Right. And then when you get one task done, celebrate. I got a task done. And also, like, the other thing that I wanted to say is that not being productive, you're super productive, you know, like you get so much done every single day. So I think it's also important to just take a step back and have maybe lower expectations or not be so hard on yourself. And I know one thing that Michaela and I have been doing is like, I know that our post today on or every Friday is celebrating your wins, but to do that process on a daily basis, to be like, what did I do? And it could be like, it can be little teeny tiny things. Like I got my son to preschool today. That was a big deal. I mean, he was like tantruming for an hour, and I kept it together and I got him to school and I took a big deep breath.
Yeah.
I did it. You know, like that, it's, you know, that's a celebration. I know I was texting with my friend this morning, and she was like, Maya, you know, like life is challenging as an independent mama, as any mama. And, you know, instead of, you know, if you had lost your temper or whatever, you would have like be beating yourself up right now. So just celebrate that. So, you know, just, you can use the tools that we've suggested, but also just take a step back and be easy on yourself and celebrate like all that you do. Like you created life. You birthed babies. You like are keeping those people alive, you know?
Yeah, and
like
so
you're
like
superheroes.
your body,
You're
constantly productive. Like us women, we don't even have to think about things, and shit gets done. You know, and like that's what I find when I align into like a really good space. I actually do less, but everything gets done. You know, once I like take that breath and that space and look around and like, you know, like immediately 10 things drop that are on my mind, and I'm so busy, and like you don't have to, you know, just focus on the next, like, you know, 1, 2, top 3 things that you need to do.
Yeah.
So then that leads into our third tip is to move your body. You know, a lot of times when we're feeling unproductive is because our energy is like super stale. We haven't moved with, you know, with things. So like, let's say, you know, you write things down. You could do the movement part, you know, before you do the task, but just commit to moving your body for at least like 30 seconds. So whether it's like hip circles or, you know, doing a downward dog, or just like laying on the floor and like bringing your legs up to stretch, like whatever it is, just make sure you're breathing and you're just taking that space, you know, maybe taking your hand on your heart and just being compassionate with yourself. Because if we're not compassionate with ourselves, we can't be compassionate with others. We can't be compassionate with our kids, our partners, just like out there in the world, you know. And so just taking that space and to move and to breathe, everything else is a piece of cake, you know. Everything else you just do, you know, and just show up. So you know, just commit to movement, and the longer movement the better, you know. But if you could only do a couple seconds, just do that. It's just that intention, and what it does, it just naturally shifts your consciousness, your vibration, and just the way you experience life in general.
Yeah. Another idea for movement is like play one song that, like, I don't know, that's your theme song that you always dance to, or you always like, there's this one song that I always jam out to whenever it's on Amazon Music, and like the kids just like, you know, sometimes my daughter's just like, yeah, and then sometimes they're just like, oh mom, but I'll just like, so just like play that song. Like, what is that song? I mean, it could be a song from like when you were in high school, or it could be a song that you really are into right now, but just like one song. So a song is like what, 3-4 minutes, but dancing it out like that is a really great way to just like shift your energy from being like, I am so unproductive, to like being like, all right, I'm energized and I'm ready to like do the next task, you know.
But like I said, you have to know, you have to have a direction, you have to have a roadmap. So get those, you know, get that brain dump going, you know. It could be a minute, just get it going, get your thoughts together, prioritize, move, and just do it, because you can do it. We've done it. you know, affirmations are amazing. Saying, I feel productive. I feel productive. Tell yourself that. You will feel it and you will think it and you will do it. So we love you. Happy Friday. Share with us your wins of this week or just today or, you know, this hour, whatever. And we will see you next Monday.
All right. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.